G'day guys, welcome back. Welcome to Pouring Your Heart Out. My name's Julie, in case you're new to the channel. Lovely to have you here. Now I am going to do a fireworks display in my small hibiscus tray. This is the small. Now I have mixed up my Let's Resin Fast Cure resin and it's getting to temperature pretty quickly now. So we're already on 34.5 degrees Celsius. Oops. There we go, 34.6. I have taken 20 grams out when it got to the 34 degrees and just popped it in there. And the rest of it I am going to pour in here. I mixed up 110 grams of part A and 100 grams of part B because I like to weigh it. It's just easier for me. If you're going by volume, just do 100 mils of A and 100 mils of B. You'll find if you put your 100 mils of A on the scale, it'll weigh more than the 100 mils of B. Has anyone ever tried that? It's pretty interesting. All right, so that is done. Now, I'm just gonna have a little look and see if I've got any bubbles clinging to the sides. Nope, I don't see any at all. Give it a really light little torch, just my little baby torch, this one. Tiny, look, you can hardly even see the flame. Don't use a big torch like that, you'll burn your mold and then your resin will fuse to your mold. So, like I'm just torching in the middle there, I'm not going near the sides because once you touch the side, that's it, you've melted your mold. All right, so that's for the white. I am using the Deco Rom alcohol inks. I like these because they've got a high ratio of alcohol, which means they spread really nicely. Some of the more concentrated alcohol inks, yeah, they've got a higher ratio of pigment to the alcohol, so you find they don't spread as much. And the pinata, when I started doing, so that was clover, this is lavender. When I started doing resin, I bought the pinata alcohol inks, and I found that they give me a skin on the top, and I really don't like that, and they're very highly concentrated. It's fine if you're mixing them into your resin, but if you're doing something like this where you want them to spread, I think the sort of cheaper brands, this is Deco Rom, like I said, I got from Amazon, and peach, pretty peach. I'll do a little bit more of the green because it's got a big area there to sort of cover, hasn't it? We'll do one more drop, see if it'll spread out. Probably should have, in reality, I should have put 2 drops side by side, but anyway, there we go. Now, my purple has kind of disappeared. I don't really like to put too much colour in because it can affect the way that the white moves, but with the pink in the middle, it is all going to go back into the center, so I don't mind having it slightly bigger there. So like I said, I've got 20 grams of resin in here, and I'm using my white bloom paste. Pigment pastes are really good. Just going to count 1, whoops, and 2. Pigment pastes work best for 3D blooms, fireworks, things like that. They're a little bit heavier. So now while the alcohol inks are moving and the alcohol is being evaporated, I can go ahead and mix my white in. You want it just to look like skim milk. So the way I do it, I have 20 grams of resin, 2 drops of bloom paste. If you're using paste that's in a little jar, it can be more difficult to sort of figure out how much to use because you've got to scoop some out. That's why I designed the bloom with a dropper so that you could physically count them. 1 drop per 10 grams. So that's why I did that. But look, any white pigment paste will work. The white seems to be heavier than the other colors. I am going to, like, I've done metallics as well. I have done metallics with pigment paste. They work well as well. Just a different look. All right, I think that's about done. Just pop a few of those little bubbles in there. Try not to get too many bubbles. So when you're doing your 3D bloom or your firework, may I suggest that you choose a resin that's already thick, like a 1:1 resin. Medium viscosity works really well. I know some 2:1 resins claim to be medium viscosity, but I think they're really more of a thinner resin. Right, that's looking pretty cool, isn't it? She might just spread that green a bit, just so that I've got more green in the ends there, like so, rather than just a little blob in the middle. Okay, these are great little silicone brushes. You get different shapes on different ends. So yeah, even though I am using a thick resin, that's Resin Fast Cure, the 1:1, I still have to wait for my resin to warm up and thicken. You potentially could do it with not waiting, but then you run the risk of having your white drop through. Now, can you see where the white stops and then there's the point there? I'm going halfway between where the white stops and the point. I'm not going to cut it over the resin because, knowing my luck, it'll fall in there. So we're just going to test a drop. You have to make the hole relatively small. It's going to go tiny little bit bigger. Otherwise, it'll just kind of run out and you'll have no control. And make sure that you sort of twist it like that to get the air out. I can see I've got a little air in the top there. Keep twisting until it runs clean out. Okay, now twist this and keep it in your hand. You don't want that dragging through. All right, are we ready? I am gonna start here. Now, I can't really stop and turn the camera off, so if you don't want to watch me do drops, this is the time to fast forward. And I may actually, I think I will, I'm going to do this in my time, so I will fast forward this section and just put some music on. Okay. All right, all my dotting is done. This first layer has cured. I've just mixed up some Platinum 360 Plus. I did 75 grams of A and 33 grams of B. It's a 2:1 resin, so that's in there because it's thin and it sets it up really quickly. So I thought I'd try this one. It's Marine Blue by LBB Resin. We'll see what that's going to look like. I do like relatively dark backgrounds, only because it makes the white petals show up more. So let's do about that much. It's really pretty blue. And if I need to, I can darken it with a little bit of black. But I think it's going to be quite a nice shade. I've got a darker one, which is a really dark navy, and then I've got an electric blue, which is much brighter. But I thought this one, I was looking at all three of them, and I thought this is right in the middle of those two. Look at that. Isn't that just divine? I think that's going to look really pretty. Okay, so I've just mixed up the resin, put the colour in, and now I will set my timer for 4 minutes. I like to do that rather than mix for 4 minutes, then add my colour, then mix for another couple of minutes. So I'll see you in 4 minutes once I've finished mixing. You may have noticed when I'd finished doing all my dots, I went back and did a row around the very outer edge there, and I thought that would just sort of frame it a little bit more because it's got more just on the outside and then, you know, not as many dots in the rest of it. All that pink, it's kind of got lost. I don't know whether we'll be able to see it on the other side, but from here it kind of looks as if it's got lost, even though we did have a big section of pink there. All right, that's my timer going off. Let's just pour this blue on. So this mould takes about 300 grams, 10 ounces total. So I had basically 200 grams for the first layer, and now just over 100 grams for the second layer. So roughly 300 grams gives you an idea that how much it can take. And of course you don't have to fill it up all the way. It's 1 centimetre deep. A centimetre, gosh, what's that? Just under ½ an inch. It's not quite ½ an inch. All right. Isn't that a pretty colour? I'm going to give that a couple of sprays with the isopropyl. And yeah, hopefully this will look really pretty. I haven't been able to get a video out to you today. So sorry. My dog Luna had her puppies last night. So, yeah, I've been up every 2 hours with puppies, bottle feeding, because she had a cesarean, because she's only tiny. She's only 2 kilos, like 4.5 pounds. So, and she had three puppies, so we had a Caesar. And milk's not in yet because, you know, of the cesarean. They don't go through labour as such, so the milk doesn't come in. So anyway, usually takes about 24 hours. So yeah, poor me hasn't had much sleep. I've been up every 2 to 3 hours feeding the 3 puppies. Now look at this. You can see how the resin is moving. See on the sides there? This is exactly how the blooms work, how the fireworks work. So you can see that resin moving in. Now this whole area here, it will be gone. Look, it looks like a star, doesn't it? That'll all close over and it'll be this gorgeous striated sort of pattern on the background. So I am just going to cover this with a net, and I'll be able to unmold it tomorrow morning. So yeah, apologies for not putting a video up. I try to do one every second day, but yeah, I just couldn't get this done in time today. So I'll unmold in the morning and then I'll put it straight up for you. All right, see you tomorrow. All right, it's the next day. I had a much better sleep last night. Luna's milk came in through the night, so the puppies have been feeding. But I did give them a little comp feed this morning as well, just to make sure that they're going to be putting on weight and not losing weight. After I've unmolded this, I'll go and show you the babies, okay? Want to see puppies? All right, let's have a little look, see how we're going. I will link my small hibiscus mold for you down in the description if you'd like that one. It's a great shape for 3D blooms, and hopefully it's a great shape for fireworks as well. All right, let's have a look. Are you ready? I wonder if we'll see any pink. Oh, look, I can see petals. I see petals. Well, no, not petals. Fireworks. Hope there's some pink. Oh, there is. Oh, wow. Look at that. That is so cool. I like that blue background. So it kind of looks as if there's a little bit of yellowish tone in the middle, which is cool. I get that sometimes when I use a pink ink. I don't know why. A pink ink with a black background, and obviously with a blue background, you get that sort of yellowy colour. But I don't dislike it. I think it adds something, just another layer of colour in there. That is so cool. Now, have a look. See how I was saying to you, I added those extra fireworks or dots around the outside, so they're much closer together, and it just sort of frames it and gives it that extra. They're a little bit closer together. I don't know, just a little bit more interest because they're closer together and more of them, and then they're sort of more sparse in the center. That is so cool. All right, now I'll have to put that down so I can get my phone. I'll go for a little walk and show you in the rest of the studio what it looks like in the other light, and then we'll go and see some puppies. That bluey background kind of looks a little bit purple, doesn't it? A little bit purple, maybe? I don't know. It looked really blue. There it is. There's a close-up there of those sections. Petals, I guess you call them. And the hibiscus. Love it. I got one right in the center. So that's it there. All right, let me just pop this down, and then I'll take you in to see the babies. All right, let's go see the babies. Hello everybody. We're going in here. So I've got steps set up for Luna. She can come and go as she pleases through there. There she is. Little Luna. And I've got her food and water here so she doesn't have to leave the babies too much. Oh, let me come down. Hello Luna. Can I say hello to everybody? Hey? Can I say hello to everybody? Yes, you're a good girl, aren't you? Let me show you everybody your babies. Move this little foot. I'll just grab this one. Turn it around so that you can see. Look at that. 100 grams. So just over 3 ounces. There she is. There you go. There you go. Won't disrupt her too much. So yeah, her milk came in through the night. So now she's, happy to stay with them, and she started toileting them. Put a little bit of nail polish on the back of the tail there so I know who's who in the zoo. So I've got 2 boys and a girl. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to say hi? So there you go. I'll keep you updated with Miss Luna and her babies, but yeah, she's doing really well. You wouldn't think she had a cesarean yesterday. Jumping around like a little young thing. It's only her second litter. She had a litter about 18 months ago, and then this is her second litter. So, all right, Luna, leave you to it. Bye, baby. So hopefully you all enjoyed my video, and I will see you all again real soon for the next one. Okay, take care, guys. Bye for now.